Hello, I'm Dr. Matt Cap from Capitalized Education, and in this video, we're going to look at the effective use of teacher aids. Teacher aids are an important part of the learning process for students in schools. So it's really important that we use them effectively, because sometimes not using them effectively can have detrimental effects. There's significant research out there that overuse of one-on-one teacher aids can have detrimental effects for students with disability and all learners in classrooms. By using one-on-one teacher aids all the time, it actually breaks that relationship between the classroom teacher and the student and increases that focus of the relationship between the student and the teacher aid, which can lead to overdependence. In relation to the nationally consistent collection of data, students receiving quality differentiated teaching practice within the classroom or supplementary adjustments, the expectation would be that the classroom teacher directs, monitors, and provides feedback to the teacher with teacher aid, within that classroom. Within the nationally consistent collection of data, at the higher levels in students receiving substantial adjustments and extensive adjustments, the teacher aides working with those students should be directed by educational specialists within the school. So we're talking about special education teachers, inclusion teachers, speech pathologists, occupational therapists, those role holders within a school. However, a 2001 study by French found that 81% of teacher aides didn't receive any direction on how they were used within the classroom or within the school, which is interesting because the research shows that it's important for teacher aides to be directed either by the classroom teacher or the specialist educators within a school. So how can we effectively use teacher aids within classrooms? So let's have a look at what the research talks about. So there are 5 potential strategies that we can use in relation to teacher aids. One is within the classroom is rotating roles, and we'll have a look at what that means. Collaborative modeling, active monitoring and triage, supporting readiness to learn, and supporting students with supplementary skills. So when we talk about rotating roles, in that explicit instruction model, when students are working in groups, both the teacher and the teacher aide move between different groups. So they're not staying with the one group, but they're moving between different groups within the classroom. So a teacher would work with one group and a teacher aide would work with another, then they would move on to different groups. So there's not one person, either the teacher or the teacher aide, staying with the same group all of the time. Imagine this happening within the classroom actually requires discussion between the teacher and the teacher aide how this is going to happen. The next approach is collaborative modeling. So during that explicit instruction process, during the modeling stage, when modeling is happening for the students, the teacher might be verbally explaining something to the students, and the teacher aide might be modeling that skill for the students. Imagine within an industrial kitchen where students are being taught how to cook, a teacher might be explaining how to follow a recipe whilst the teacher aide actually does the recipe. So the students can see and hear the teacher's cognitive thoughts whilst the teacher aide actually models that out. Within a classroom, a teacher might be explaining how to add fractions and the teacher aide is adding the fractions on the whiteboard. So active monitoring and triage. So during that explicit instruction model, when the teacher is teaching, the teacher aide is actively walking around the classroom, emphasis on active. And if they identify a student or group of students who are struggling or needing extra assistance, rather than jumping straight in and helping them, the teacher aide goes over and informs the teacher. And during that collaborative work and individual work parts of the explicit instruction model, the teacher goes over and supports those students, and the teacher aide continues to help everyone else. Supporting readiness to learn. So during that explicit instruction model once again, because that's an extremely useful evidence-based approach. The teacher aide is once again actively moving around the classroom and identifying any students who need support to get ready for the learning process. And the last one is supporting with supplementary skills. So during that explicit instruction model, when the teacher is modeling skills and strategies, the teacher aide might go over and helps a student with those supplementary skills like mind mapping or Venn diagrams or other supports that support that student with the learning process. But once again, imagine there needs to be a coordination between the teacher and the teacher aide of how this is going to happen. In the busyness of school, you have to think about where this collaborative time or this discussion happens. It's really important to remember that the classroom teacher is the primary educator in that classroom. Whilst over-reliance on teacher aides might address an issue in the short term, it doesn't address those issues long term. So if a student is struggling and a teacher aide is assigned to them one-on-one, it might address those issues for a short period of time. But ultimately, those challenges that the student has aren't going to disappear without a more targeted approach to supporting learning. At Capitalize Education, we're passionate about personalized learning, and we hope you find this video useful. Thank you.